克苏鲁，没错。我在想，我今天要不要换一个脸玩？我们今天就这样玩。好累哦，算了。会害怕恐怖游戏吗？多多少少吧，应该算会。该怕的就会怕，该吓到就是会吓到，压迫感很重的也很不舒服。哦，但我今天不会开完，因为这个游戏有点太长了，而且文本量还蛮大的，所以我可能会分个2、3次开。抓抓安安，来看我玩游戏了，哈耶！把游戏放大一滴滴。那既然爪爪都来了，我们就开始吧。开始咯！难道这是恐怖游戏？这是克苏鲁游戏？克苏鲁本身就是一个很恐怖的元素，所以你要说它是恐怖游戏也没错。我是觉得没有很恐怖了。PS 必须快点接到新案子，否则就有失去侦探许可证的危险。只要有人比路比怕，就不用担心了。如果我疯了，这会是一个解脱。愿上帝怜悯，让我能够麻木且冷漠，保持着理智与清醒，直到可怕的结局到来。我对跳脸的鬼比较怕，恐怖元素的应该就还好。OK。哇，灵敏度好快，所以大家等下看到我被吓到，就是那个滑鼠会抖很大一下，这样。
What a putrid offering. Don't fight. You have been chosen. has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
哈哈，是噩梦啦。
I hate whiskey.
PS 调查局，我的私人侦探所，签约在温特华兹侦探事务所底下。一战结束后，我决定在波士顿安顿下来，这里不缺我这种人能干的工作，小案子一个接一个不停，通奸、复仇、假失踪。办公室沙发很旧了，不如床舒服，我或许也该收拾一下，把这些空瓶子扔出去。但不管怎么说，这地方到底是我自己的，至少暂时如此。
Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
医生反复告诉我，我不再需要通过药物来隔绝我的记忆，但我知道我一旦停下，那些记忆便会涌回来，然后在某个清晨，我将不再醒来。尽管接受了治疗，但我仍然能在梦中听到幻声，一种独特且未知的声音，似乎是从古老而莫测的深处浮现出来的。是什么不可名状的生物在召唤我？
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
雇佣我的那位酒吧老板不喜欢我结案的方式，但他既已选择私家侦探这个不甚合法的途径，又被他抓住了把柄，就也奈何他不得。黑酒吧里喜闻乐见的敲诈故事。
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. I should get rid of all this stuff.
应该要扔掉这些东西。
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
这位丈夫从未明白自己的妻子已经离开了他。在调查结束后的好几周里，他还在不断给我打电话。
I used to be an avid reader. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. Been too long since I've slept in a bed.
哔哔。嘿，怎么样？
I'm
好
listening.
古老。
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherrifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
嘴了呀，哎，这是我之前玩的技能呢，为什么继承下来了？ 哦，是这样哦。哦，そっかそっか。
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
一个货运标签上面有的内容无法辨识，但能认出一小部分地址。第36号仓库，黑水岛。警方报告称火势从餐厅而起，夺去了全家人的性命。警方认为这是一起家庭事故，然而他们坚称莎拉·霍金斯精神脆弱，这是为什么？一张简报，一篇关于莎拉和查尔斯·霍金斯婚姻的文章，后者是一位来自黑水岛的商人，夫妻二人独子西蒙在那里隐居。
What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse.
That's right.
And you think your daughter...
That is what you must go to
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
爱水岛自从14世纪以来便有人居住，今日岛上还遗留着许多失落部落的记忆。如此原始幼稚的信仰，留下了些许动人遗迹。但别被表面的浪漫愚弄了，忘了他们精神的诸神有多么暴虐。在被遗弃的生洞中，墙壁上还是有庞大的生物，到底是海神还是梦境之神，没有人知道。但是在这马萨诸塞岛附近的岛上，马萨诸塞海岸附近的小岛上，依旧居住着自豪的不列金人的后代，他们仍记得自己小岛神秘而动荡的故事。
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
医学学习第一卷，一本面向实习生与年轻医师撰写的书籍，内容详实，在第一卷中说明了，列出了闻名世界中已知的所有疾病，并详细说明了其症状及疗法。有没有什么我没看到的啊？我觉得那个滑速有点太快了。 好一点。Stephen Webster， 一位富有的实业家，他来到了我的办公室。他希望我能够调查他女儿莎拉·霍金斯的案子。他与他的家人一同死于一场火灾之中。我必须查看他收集的文件来详细了解这个案子。现在只剩下动身前往黑水岛了。Sarah Hawkins， 莎拉·霍金斯是一位画家，以他充满折磨痛苦的艺术宇宙而闻名于世。他很少公开露面，人们崇拜他的神秘，以及他作品中透露出的诡谲。我记得他说过：“我画的是梦对我的低语。”多年前，他与查尔斯·霍金斯结为夫妻，让上流社会专栏作家们甚是惊讶。这样一位喜爱参加聚会的波士顿富豪4女，竟然选择跟随自己的新婚丈夫去黑水岛隐居了起来。那时起，她便从各大报纸的头条中消失了，再也没有人听说过她的任何消息。即便她在火灾中的丧生也密不可宣，只有她的父亲 Stephen Webster 还在寻找真相。
I wonder why I still take these things.
安眠药，这是我参战归来后多位医生开给我的药。他们发誓这药能去除梦魇，但竟然药效在不断减弱。我们要理智到底。P.S. 接下了霍金斯的案子，这位被诅咒的艺术家被控纵火烧死他自己与他的家人。唯一的线索就是他留给父亲的一幅诡异的画，在画的出货标签上面有一个地址：黑水岛码头上的一个仓库。这个地方应该就是 P.S. 调查的起点。我都念完了，他还没跑完，太慢了吧？
Almost there.
船长，The Call of Cthulhu。 该啦。海鸥的声音。
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
哇，你好卡痰哦，救命！
I'm going for a look around the docks. Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
You saw what happened. He's the troublemaker.
Oh, you're a true mainlander. A real princess. You strut around with your la-di-da ways, and then, as soon as the pressure arises, you start squealing. You don't have what it takes to drink my whiskey. You've got to earn it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
You don't dare say a thing because you respect their memory. But that doesn't mean that you don't have a lot on your mind.
You're not a PI for nothing. Okay. I don't know what it's worth, though. But Mrs. Hawkins, she went to see her doctor very often.
She was sick.
Ah, I shouldn't have mentioned it to you. Forget it.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, Who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dockwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens. We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
If I had the wing of the girly boys, I would swear the man fly.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
1847年5月21日，奇迹捕捞，希拉返回港口，拯救黑水岛上的饥民。我们本已放弃了希望。星期二的下午，余下的希拉号船员返回了黑水岛的港口，当地人立刻赶到码头，迎接岛上最后一艘捕鲸船。当人们看到这艘勇敢的船捕获到的东西后，感到非常惊讶。体型比巨大的齿鲸还要庞大，如今被称为奇迹捕捞的这条鲸鱼，当时占据了整个甲板，甚至还有一部分悬在船的外面。幸存下来的水手讲述了捕获当时的惊心动魄，还告诉大家它的肉质鲜美，营养丰富。毫无疑问，巨鲸的庞大体型足以为黑水岛上的众多居民提供食物，结束岛上部分地区肆虐的饥荒。仓库租赁，马克思先生将于6月开始出租他的仓库，可用作工作室库房或用于捕鱼活动。你可以通过你最喜欢的报纸与他联系，或者在码头上与他沟通。搁浅鲸酒吧的难忘之夜，为了庆祝我们勇敢的捕鲸者回归，搁浅鲸酒吧全员邀请你参加免费的夜猫酿 品尝活动，与您的家人或朋友一同品尝皮吉捕捞。到场的每个人都会获赠1瓶精油，赶快来吧！
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
She won't stop asking.
Not that again. She will get us into trouble.
I know.
What you looking at, stranger?
The clientele is predominantly male.
Tell me something I don't know.
I meant nothing by it. I'm just wondering what a woman like you is doing in this flea trap.
And I'm wondering what could be going through the head of the chump who goes to disturb her. Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it.
好凶哦！
Cold. She won't stop asking.
Not that again. She will get us into trouble.
I know.
布拉德利是谁？
Let the police do their work. Hey, the same goes for you, sir. Move along.
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
Ah. And so who are you?
I didn't introduce myself. Edward Pierce, private detective.
In any case, it's not very important. I can't answer that.
You can't? Or you don't want to?
Oh, no. I'm not getting into those games, me. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
You can't understand. You're not sailors.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand.
你没听到克苏鲁的呼唤，但你听到小可爱的呼唤。谁是小可爱啊？
The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
医学学习第2卷，第2卷阐述了医务人员的道德行为规范。
This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
船长，我们之间的协议说得很清楚，把你的人管好，你惹不起我们的，不必回信了，把钱交给送信员就好。夜猫，恐 会有信。
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
只剩下几个日期还能辨认清楚，1890、1907，还有一个一半的日期，其余内容都被涂黑了。是谁想要隐藏这些讯息呢？
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. Broken. This place seems half abandoned.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth, and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha! Indeed, you're right.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the Stranded Whale.
Can you tell me where the warehouse is again?
Look, I've already shown it to you. It's the one with the cop on guard duty out front. You can't miss it.
Understood. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her?
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
I shall take my leave.
I can't, 到目前为止都还没有进入到可怕的范围。
That's no way to treat an omen. Oh yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm not here to hinder your work, officer. Edward Pierce, private detective.
Sorry, we're all a little on edge today. What are you doing here?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Darn it. Why do you want to drag up all that stuff again?
My investigation has led me to this warehouse.
That case was closed months ago.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor.
你
Leave
终于
him
把
well
事情
alone.
做好了，什么意思？今天礼拜六，做完后又要段考，辛苦。
Tell me, who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut.
Why, we don't have a clear conscience.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry
这几
dog?
周都在忙，辛苦了。
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile of the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
I bid you gentlemen farewell.
进不去，进不去。
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the Navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to Darkwater?
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
I have an offer that could interest you.
We're listening.
I need you to keep them busy for a while.
You send us to take the punishment while you go quietly about your business. What's in it for us?
What would convince you to help me?
There's only one thing that'll get us to move.
For sure. Bring us something to drink and we'll take care of the bootleggers.
Liquor?
Exactly.
I'll try to find some for you.
They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots. Forget it.
You again.
Let's say I want to buy a bottle from you.
Let's say I don't want to sell you one.
Oh, come on. Because of a little tussle.
Drinking it here is a privilege, and I grant the privilege to whoever I want. Anything else?
Let's say I want to buy a bottle from you.
Let's say I don't...
Oh, come on.
Drinking it here is... Anything else?
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah? That must have been before you came looking for a fight in my bar.
Oh, come on. Because of a little tussle.
Drinking it here is a privilege. Anything else?
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams.
Screams?
And that's not all. But all... Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
不能买酒，他不给我买酒。
So, have you got what we asked you for?
I didn't find your liquor.
Because you haven't really looked.
There's no shortage of whiskey on Darkwater.
So, have you got what we asked you for?
I'll be back.
Take your time. We're going nowhere.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
Mm-mm.
Get it? Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah?
你们两个跟刚刚那两个长很像哎。
No longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type.
哦，我以为他在这里钓鱼可以聊个天。 不行。
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. Looks like Phoenician, or a very primitive runic script. I've never seen anything like it. This language, it's a whole lot older than this statue.
Mm-mm. 你们会希望我把他讲的话再念一次吗？因为我觉得这还蛮干扰的。还好，好。
Damnation! I broke it.
Something real bad.
What could have done so much damage?
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
They're cops. They can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots.
理论上，现在是要我进到别的仓库，然后走隧道进去，但是别的仓库怎么去？这游戏不给我攀爬，不能爬墙。
You again. I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign.
You didn't tell me that the warehouse I was looking for was right in front of us.
Because its owner is dead. And I don't want to see you hanging around it. Now please, leave us to our work.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. Oh yeah. It's a sign. He's gonna get us into trouble. Something real bad.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters.
哎，这个还没看。
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
My God. You said
What? Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again.
But he won't try again anytime soon. We gave him a good hiding.
So you said to yourselves that after such a feat, you could abandon your post.
It's just a little drink. We taught those guys a lesson.
We'll return right after. It's just that standing guard in this alley makes your throat dry.
That fool Fitzroy can't keep his dogs on a leash.
I'll have to send him a more clear-cut message. I told you to beat it.
The weather is rough and the winds do blow.
Now what?
What a macabre souvenir.
Now what? 我搞不到酒就进不去啊。
You're back again. What can I do for you?
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
隐藏物品。
This ratchet device seems to be usable. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. This tunnel goes under the warehouses. I could use this old winch to lift the grating.
用啊。缺一个把手，是不是？
It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch. This handle will be perfect for the winch.
等一下，我要怎么收起打火机？
Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle. Smoke. It's coming from this oil. I hope it's not toxic.
其实，在这种烟里面点火是非常不明智的，基本上会烧起来。 怕。
This is primitive. Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? The glass is shattered, like someone smashed it. Was it before or after the removal of these bandages? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here?
那隐藏物品。我没办法再进入一次哦。哦，好吧。 可是我没有找到隐藏物品，难过。
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Wound up? You mean messed up?
Dog. We don't take no lessons from the likes of you. We do our job carefully and fairly. No stone was left unturned.
Really? Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose.
不是
，Damn it.
他就这么简单的放过
This
我了。
case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
皮尔斯进入了仓库，在这个本以为被废弃的地方，发现了一些惊人的线索。这里最近有人来过，还有一幅部分烧毁的画放在这里。他的调查被布莱德利警官打断，皮尔斯说服他进入他的调查。警官自愿载这位侦探前往霍金斯豪宅，对不起，霍金斯宅邸。我擅自称它为豪宅了，哈哈。我刚刚不管选哪一个，那个警察应该都会带我来这里。
Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around, it would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
我就待在你后面，我没有要超越你的意思。可是我怕这样会少看到一些东西，就是还是超越他好了。
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her. Poor kid.
不是要一起来，老哥。还在原地冲啥？怎么样？你安怎？
Recently fallen. It's as if all life has abandoned the place.
行木质金鱼，一个木质的金鱼雕像，是那种水手们给孩子做的玩具。请问我们的警官是哀悼完了没有？老哥
Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
不是要一起走，一起走啊！真是的。
This entrance is still in use.
Whoa! Whoa! You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe, and let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do.
Go
on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
然后我们的警察先生现在才来。
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go. Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you.
P.S. 和布拉德利警官调查了霍金斯宅邸的花园，这家人埋葬在这里的墓地由希拉斯·温彻斯特看守着。这位老管家仍然对他的雇主忠心耿耿，一直持着斧头看守着这个地方。P.S. 与布拉德利设法让他平静了下来，并拿到了进入霍金斯宅邸的钥匙。他们进到了室内，寻找火灾现场。
Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here, smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
Let's see if I can find something the cops missed.
Silas managed to bring the...
The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? They had a fight. Why? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Did someone escape the fire? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty.
隐藏物品.
This door is blocked from the outside. These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose?
就在这一区。
An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818.
找到了，撬棍。
A crowbar could prove useful.
18世纪医学史。事实上，这本书中只涵盖了18世纪所谓的文明国家医学知识与卫生措施，并不涉及相对贫瘠落后的地区的医学影响。
This door is locked.
那我们的警官又不见了。我们能走的地方不多。这里挡住不给上。
Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer?
在一片异域的遗址前，查尔斯·霍金斯摆出探险家一样的姿势。大家都知道他在昂贵的旅行上花费了大量金钱，他究竟在寻找什么？
Charles and Sarah's wedding is painted by Sarah herself. Charles and Sarah's wedding is painted by Sarah herself.
我们走完了，没有东西看了。 我们的警察同志到底去哪了嘞？哦，这里。白鲸记。
Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale.
一本由赫尔曼·迈尔维尔所著的《白鲸记》，这是一本文学经典，尤其对于船东家庭人员。
Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep.
儒勒·凡尔纳的珍藏本。
This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's...
Hear what? Crowbar， 我们有一个 crowbar， 拿来开哪里的嘞？
What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police?
尊敬的先生，如你所知，我一直十分尊重你与你的家人。遗憾的是，我再也无法对您妻子的所作所为视而不见了。上周，他又一次吓坏了我的客户。我知道他并无恶意，但你应该请让富勒医生来照顾他。似乎只有他才能让他恢复理智。如果再发生这样的事情，相信我，虽然很不情愿，但我不得不让警方介入。谨上，安东·维拉尔。你刚有看到吗？
Locked.
Sarah Hawkins 办公室门的钥匙。小孩房。
The boys' room. What was going through that boy's mind? A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve?
仪式圆环。
This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other.
Fate brought us together, and forever it will bind us. 就这样吗？
Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life.
亲爱的 Sarah， 自你去往那座失落岛屿上隐居之后，你的艺术作品吸引了越来越多的收藏家。求求你再送一些新画作给我吧。上次那些无比触动人心的奇妙而忧郁的画作卖出了高价，随信附上给你的最近销售的分成。不要忘记你的朋友，是我最先发现了你的才华，并将它展现给了世人。你最亲爱的马克·谢米利安 ·L. 代理商的信。
The door is blocked on the other side. Bradley? Is that you? What will her room reveal about her?
What kind of...
Perfect. Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated, resorting to such a treatment.
巴比妥类药物作用于神经系统，能够起 起到镇定的效果的作用，但是一旦你开始使用，就再也离不开它。我太了解了。哦的，这场游戏《克苏鲁的呼唤》。凯伊安安。虽然 Hawkins 的这些速写比起解剖学研究更像是一组恐怖的图画，这些是代表他夜晚的梦魇吗？
Is anyone there?
哈哈，是我啦！
You! Stop! Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier. Where did he go? They look like Celtic runes. Charles must have brought them back from one of his foreign trips. It looks like an old seaway map.
有人在这幅旧海图上加了几个坐标，形成一条航线。
Do you really think that your fugitive came in here? I don't see...
Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well.
Anyway,
I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. Probably. It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance. This panel is movable. As if the bookcase has been moved several times. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism.
有台湾欸。
Doesn't work. Seems like this came from a log.
北纬42度，西经70度。好。水手的航海日志。黑水岛，整个上午我们都在向北行驶。汉密尔顿船长很有信心，他说在这个时令我们可以打败厄尔福斯号，愿上帝保佑。北纬47度，西经55度。我更希望鲸鱼能够了无踪迹的消失。看着这些尸体，我们再也无法忽视他们的命运。是什么吃掉了这些巨兽？我告诉汉密尔顿这不是一个好兆头，但是他毫不在意。1847年6月1号，北纬49度，西经61度。我们停泊在一座村庄附近，当地居民说这里的水都被圣兽的鲜血污染红了，这违背了神的意志。我告诉他们，以前我只害怕全能的上帝，但是如今这孤独让我感到恐惧。6月4号，北纬57度，西经51度。我们在远处看到了一头巨大的鲸鱼，它的体型似乎超出了人类已知的任何生物。它吟唱着一首地狱之歌，汉密尔顿想要抓到它。6月23号，哇，过了这么久，我们抓到它了。这是我见过的最怪异的鲸鱼，它将成为有史以来捕获到最大的生物。不少人因此而丧命，但我们赢得了荣耀。以后的日子，人们将庆祝这一天。6月29日，黑水岛，我们打败了厄尔福斯号，空舱返航了。希拉号与汉密尔顿已经变成了回忆。
There must be a link with the Seaway map. This Dr. Fuller, was he Sarah Hawkins' therapist?
查尔斯，我理解你的担忧，但我可以向你保证，莎拉在河畔病院会得到妥善照顾。毫无疑问，他的情况需要特殊照看与密切关注。如果他能被安置在一个安全的环境中，被训练有素的医护人员看照着，他的潜能才能彻底发挥出来。当然，决定权在你手中，但我似乎看得出来你的时间已经不多了。你的朋友托马斯·富勒。
Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. There must be a link with the Seaway map.
北纬33度，西经53度。这不太好找呢。北纬33度，西经53度。
Looks like it worked.
大概就好，是不是？
Well done, Pierce.
Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. With this, I should be able to force the gears.
Well done, Pierce.
有两个方法就对了。
As if the bookcase has been moved several times.
在霍金斯豪宅邸内部，火灾现场揭示了他的秘密。皮尔斯与布拉德利警官循着幸存者的踪迹搜查了这个地方，想要找到证据。正当此时，一个蒙面人跳入了莎拉·霍金斯的工作室，偷走了一幅画。于是，侦探与警官在后面追赶。他们跟着他进入了查尔斯·霍金斯的办公室，在那里发现了一条秘密通道。然后，皮尔斯与布拉德利进入了宅邸地下的隧道。
Secret passage under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have already gotten far.
Yeah, and he had a direct means of entry to the crime scene. We must find him. 3 seats.
Look. Someone's been here recently.
等一下啦，我想我们今天到这里。我们今天就到这里好不好？我有事情。啊，还没开始恐怖，对吧？这游戏我们可能要开个5、6次哦。我今天本来想要开整个下午的，但是刚刚突然有事情。我没有办法 ，sorry。好啦，今天先到这边，感谢各位收看，拜拜。